Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at what you were dealing with in 2025, where your energy is at right now, moving into 2026, and then looking at what you need to know and expect in 2026. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation, and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Pisces, we are going to jump on in. We're going to start with Oracle cards, looking at the energy for 2025, then the energy that you're in right now, and then what you need to know and expect moving into 2026. We're going to look at the overall energy with Oracle cards first, and then we will dive deeper into tarot as we progress with the reading. So let's first start looking at what you guys have been dealing with. Communication is key with a personal issue reaches resolution. I really like this energy for you guys. I think that this is an energy of really taking your power back in a lot of ways, like speaking your truth, being honest about what you need, what you deserve, what you desire, showing up in authenticity. I think that there were certain things that maybe for a while you were kind of just accepting or pushing to the side. And I think that 2025 was really this time where you stopped letting things slide. That's kind of what I feel here, really standing in your truth, really honoring, your emotions, your experience. And with a personal issue reaches resolution, I feel like, because of this energy, I think that you started to experience a lot of changes. Now, those changes maybe, I feel like this balance between some of them being good and some of them feeling not so good. When we start to stand in our truth and set stronger boundaries and be honest about what we need and how we feel and what we deserve and desire, we will lose things that don't align with that truth. And it doesn't mean that our truth is too much or that it shouldn't be valued or respected. It just means that, speaking your truth and being honest about what you need, setting your boundaries, those things are the perfect way to receive divine guidance, because anything that doesn't align is going to fall away, but that's going to open up for what is really meant for you. So I think that this energy is really powerful. I think that there were a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, when we're looking at overall energy for a certain year, there's going to be a theme, but that doesn't mean that it was all good or all bad. And I think that where you're headed now, because I do feel like your energy is very open. I think, and that makes sense because 2025 was the year of the snake. It was also a 9 year in numerology, which is all about endings and releasing what doesn't serve you. Next year, year of the horse, and a 10 year in 10/1 year in numerology, which is all about new beginnings. More so a 1 year than a 10 year. I don't know why I said 10 year, but that's, I feel like, where you're headed, kind of closing out old cycles. Maybe even if you didn't want certain cycles to close, I think that there were some things that came to an end or some cycles that closed that you wish didn't have to close, but you are opening yourself up here to new aligned energy. So current energy here for you, Pisces. Where are you at right now? Luck is on your side, and that's what I felt. It's almost like, when we start to stand in our power a little bit more, even if our voice shakes and our knees are wobbly and it's scary as hell and we're uncertain, that stuff doesn't matter. It's the standing in your power despite those things that really allows you to reclaim your power. And when we do that, we become a magnet. We become a magnet for our desires. We become a magnet for what we've been waiting for. And I think that that's the energy that you're in right now. I think you're setting yourself up for a really lucky 2026. But it's not just luck, right? I think that it feels like luck because of how things will unfold. But I think that it is a product of your hard work. Then you have adjustments are required. Let me clarify this adjustments are required card. Ooh, don't let the past hold you back. Okay. Take time to breathe out. Your commitment is being tested. Okay. You don't want to go back to old cycles. You know, there have been, I think that you worked really hard to remove yourself from spaces and places where you weren't valued and you weren't aligning. And it's really important not to go back to those cycles, because those cycles will only pull you back to the same experiences. So I think as you're moving forward, you know, and that's the thing about reclaiming your power, it doesn't happen you know, all at once. It happens over time. It happens in phases, and it happens when we continue to stand in tall in what we deserve and who we are and what we want, even when it feels like the world around us isn't aligning, even when you know, when we're afraid that we've lost something that is good enough and we're afraid that nothing better is going to come along. Like, that's where we actually really attract the things that that we deserve. So what does Pisces need to know about 2026? The energy is gaining momentum. Be bold and make the first move and hold your vision. 2026 is a bold year, a confident year, and a year of taking risks, a year of, you know, putting yourself out there, a year of not playing it small. And I think that that starts to catapult you forward into this vision here that you have for yourself and for your life. And I love it. I love it. And that's what I mean by it's a lucky year, but it's not really a lucky year. It's like, you know, and I've had people say this to me before, like people close to me, like, oh, you're so lucky that you have a successful business, or you're so lucky, you know, to have the relationship that you do. And of course, you know, oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. But when you start to create the life that you deserve and desire with intention, when you break out of old cycles, when you stand tall in your truth, when you go through hell to get to where you're trying to go, luck has nothing to do with it. You know, the energy that you start to claim starts to show up in your life in very positive ways. And I think that that's a lot of what 2026 is very much about for you here. So I love this. I love this energy for you guys. I think that you guys absolutely deserve it. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. Doesn't mean it's all going to be rainbows and butterflies, obviously, but you know, even with challenges, you know, things can still be leading us to better. All right, overall theme of this reading here for you, Pisces. I also feel like who you are has changed a lot. Like, not just, and I think that happens, but not just the things that you're doing, but who you are and how you show up in your life has changed a lot, which is what transformation is all about. It happens inward before it happens outside of us. I said luck, didn't I? And you literally have luck is on your side with lucky. And I said magnet, and I guess this is technically a horseshoe, but it looks like a magnet. You're becoming a magnet for your desires. This feels like such a major confirmation for the message that I was delivering there. And I think, you know, the card that's with it is spiritual cleansing. So, and letting go of things that aren't serving you and certain things leaving your life, you're setting yourself up for a lot of really good things. And I think that this is about trusting the process and the journey. It's going to take time, and that's just kind of part of it. But I mean, yeah, this is major confirmation here for the energy I was trying to bring through. And I can't believe, like, I know this is a horseshoe, but it really does look like a magnet. Like one of those, you know, those magnets that are shaped like a horseshoe. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like I said, you guys deserve it. Okay, let's dive into this a little bit more here, Pisces. You have a personal issue reaches resolution with communication is key. Let's see what we've got going on for you guys. This is for Pisces past energy. What have you guys been dealing with here, Pisces? I want to know more about this 2025. I guess you probably already know the ins and outs of it, but kind of hear hopeful grieving. There might have been grieving of maybe a past version of you, certain things that fell apart, but also I do feel a lot of hope, a lot of peace with certain things. Yeah, okay, 10 of Swords in reverse. This is acceptance. because the Tower, I mean, these are things falling apart. This is literally what I was saying. It's like, yes, things around you are changing. A lot of things are shifting. There's loss here, grief, but there's acceptance with it. It's almost like okay, I see that this is what has to happen. I see that this is where, this is necessary. It's almost like there's no avoiding this, which I think that's a lot of what the Tower is about. It's an unavoidable, things kind of falling apart. And I like this energy for you. This acceptance here, I think, is, and maybe you've been in a period of grieving for a while. Maybe this isn't just about things that were changing in 2025, but maybe you've been doing a lot of grieving of, a life that you thought you were going to live, or experiences you thought you were going to have. Not that you've lost the opportunity to be abundant or happy or successful or loved, okay? We never have lost that opportunity. Nothing that is meant for us will ever pass us. But, we have certain ideas of how things are going to play out. And, sometimes we grieve those things as they need to change. But that grieving is part of what growth is all about. That's something they don't tell us about growth. You don't hear it talked about a lot about when it comes to growth, is that there's a lot of grief involved. And it's not just grief of the things that are changing around you. It's grief of the person that you were and the version of you that you were before the growth. And, it does open up to a lot of good. It's very bittersweet, I think, is what this energy is really about here. And maybe it was more bitter than it was sweet in the beginning, and that's okay. No one gets to tell you how to process your experience. All right, what else is going on here for you, Pisces? Surrender. The Hangman. See, this is where this energy is so powerful. Because it's an energy of I'm not going to control. I'm done trying to change you. I'm done trying to change this. I'm done, trying to make this thing that isn't working work. I'm done trying to make this thing that's making me unhappy or miserable, or that isn't making me feel loved. It's just like it's letting go. And letting go is a process, and it takes a tremendous amount of courage to do. And boy, you guys should be so proud of yourself, because this is an energy that a lot of people don't reach. Staying in control, continuing to try to force, it's something that a lot of people stay stuck in. But I love this energy for you, and I think that that's what is opening you up to such magnetic energy here. What else for you, Pisces? Yeah, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Things falling apart for better things to fall together. I also think with the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, this is a surrender, and I already kind of said this, but I think I needed to elaborate on it a little bit. A surrender to things that just weren't working. Trying to force, trying to control, trying to make things happen, trying to make things fit. And just this surrender, this letting go. And look what's on the other side of it. You have this 9 of Pentacles here. This is wish fulfillment. So where is Pisces at right now? What does Pisces need to know about their current energy? This is powerful. This has been powerful energy. The Emperor. I mean, this is really about taking control of your life. This is really powerful energy. It doesn't feel powerful though. I don't think you feel powerful. I think you feel tired. I think you're struggling a little bit with hope. That doesn't mean it's not powerful. Okay? Power isn't this energy of 100% certainty and 100% feeling good all the time. Power is, despite how you feel, despite what's happening around you, you keep showing up. You keep choosing potential. You keep choosing what you deserve. You never giving up despite how many reasons you might have to. That's what makes this energy so powerful. And I think that that's where you don't realize that's what's actually shifting things here. It's a slow process. And there's self-doubt. Knight of Pentacles with the 7 of Wands in reverse. I don't know if I said it. This is the Emperor. I showed it, but I don't know if I said it. It's a slow process. And on the process of stepping into your power, self-doubt is going to be so loud, because when you start to make changes, when you start to reclaim your worth, when you start to stand up for what you deserve and to speak, your truth honestly, and to put yourself out there in ways that you never really have, and experience rejection in ways that you never have, there is a part of you that's going to go, who the hell do you think you are? Who do you think you are to believe you deserve more? Who do you think you are to believe you can ever receive anything better? These places, these spaces that you were in, that's as good as it gets, and you just ruined it, right? That's self-doubt. That's not a truth. It's not what I'm saying. It's self-doubt. Whenever you start to change your life, even sometimes if it means making changes that feel negative before they turn positive, most people give up in that self-doubt energy. Whenever doubt is loud, fear is loud, insecurity is loud, and they believe it. Right? So I think that's where the adjustments are required card is coming from. This is a process. This isn't going to just be one step, you set a boundary, things magically change. Okay? And actually it's usually very easy in the moment to set the boundary, to speak your truth, to be honest about what you need, right? It's harder whenever time has passed, whenever you've created some distance between you and the situation, you start to overthink. And you start to second guess, and you start to wonder, should I make the right choice? Did I ask for too much? No, you didn't. You are not asking for too much. You did make the right choice. And this is a time to really trust yourself. Trust yourself even though you doubt yourself. Self-doubt is natural. I think that that's something that they don't really tell you about confidence. It's not an absence of self-doubt. It's not an absence of second guessing. It's not, like I said, 100% certainty. It's showing up, believing in your worth and your capabilities and where you can go despite it. It's when your fear is loud, but your faith is louder. And that's where you manifest. That's where you create better things for yourself. So I think that you don't realize how much you are shifting your energy. And when you start to show up for more, when you start to show up believing you're worth more, you're deserving more, you're capable of more in the ways that you are, Pisces, you will be shocked at how the universe starts to move mountains to make it happen for you. So what does Pisces need to know about their 2026? And I said it. I said 2026 is a confident year. It's a courageous year. It's a bold year. And that's what makes you a magnet for your desires. That's what makes you lucky, is because you start to take the big steps. The steps that other people, won't take. The steps that most people avoid taking. Judgment. I don't know yet what this is meaning. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, here's something. Okay, yeah, there it is. The Eight of Cups. And the Four of Pentacles. Walking away from what you spent so long holding on to creates more stability in your life. More stability, more abundance than you had. And I think that that's what was so hard about this energy, is it felt like you were letting go of the opportunity of love or abundance or success. And you were. But that opportunity, not the opportunity as a whole. So this energy right here, it's almost like the Eight of Cups leads to this Four of Pentacles. Walking away from what isn't serving you leads to more stability, more security here. One thing I was going to say is the outer stability in our life is very directly a reflection of the inner stability within us. When we are facing experiences in the outer world that make us doubt ourselves, that make us doubt our choices. Say you start a business, okay? In the first 6 months of this business, you are struggling financially. You're struggling to get off the ground. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're barely getting by. You're going to start to doubt big time, right? You're going to go, I don't know. This doesn't feel this doesn't feel aligned. This doesn't feel like things are working. This doesn't feel like I'm going to get to where I'm trying to go. Most people in that experience, they give up. They throw in the towel. They say, I can't do it. It's too much. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with it. The more that you show up in those moments of self-doubt and you say, yes, I'm doubting. Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I don't know how things are going to work, but I'm going to choose to believe that I'm guided, supported, capable anyway. The luckiest person on the planet. Everything works out for me. Even if you're, like I said, if your knees are shaking and your voice is shaking when you say it, that's what manifestation is. okay? It's when you're experiencing, when you have all of the reason to doubt, all of the reason to fear, all of the reason to second guess, and you keep showing up. You keep choosing possibility. You keep choosing to believe that there is better for you. That's where power lies. That's where manifestation lies. So understand that the process to creating better in your life isn't just a one, okay, I deserve more, and then you're all of a sudden everything you ever desire happens. It is a process, and it's a commitment to showing up, believing that you are worthy and deserving of more. Remember we had, did we have your commitment is being tested? I don't remember. That card's coming to mind. I don't remember if we had it or not. But your commitment to yourself, your commitment to your self-worth, all of these things, is where the focus needs to go, because 2026 is a very it's opening you up to a lot of abundance. Like I said, it's a very bold year, it's a very courageous year, and it's going to require you to continue to be bold and courageous despite self-doubt as things start to unfold for you. So you're shifting into some really abundant energy. I'm excited for you guys, but it is going to be a process, okay? I will never be the reader that's going to tell you, oh my gosh, everything's shifting and all of a sudden everything's just going to fall into place, because that doesn't happen. It is always a process, and there's always going to be ups and downs on that process. In those down moments where things feel scary and uncertain and you're doubting yourself, just remember, this is part of the journey. These feelings that I'm having are valid. They need to be processed and experienced, but they're not truths. I'm capable of more. I'm worthy of more. I'm deserving of more. I'm not going to go back to spaces that show me otherwise. We're going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to dive deeper into this, looking at what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Pisces, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Pisces.